Okay, Election Day 2024. By the time you're probably watching this, I'm live right now on YouTube watching the election as it happens. But I'm going to make this video as quick and concise as possible. Vote or don't vote. It doesn't matter. You can go and think that you're voting for a lesser of two evils, or you can go and vote for a third party or whatever as a protest vote or anything of the sorts. It will not matter. It will be up to the electoral colleges in December of who actually becomes president, as well as a bunch of other factors as well. And even if the person that you want to win wins, it will get worse for everyone. Now, personally, if Kamala wins, it will put off a shitstorm from happening for maybe 4 years. It will maybe put something off from happening for a few months or so on. But guess what? We got equality now because a woman is a president, and that means that Lebanon is going to be bombed by, yay, the first time in history, a female president. Isn't that great? Isn't that awesome? Isn't that awesome? Like how we praised Obama for being the first black president, and then he went and bombed people hundreds of times within an hour. What was that statistic? It was something like every hour a bomb was dropped under Obama's administration. But yeah, equality. Um, all the other stuff that he did, despite the fact that it really didn't do much for people. He didn't really deliver on any of his promises. Wow, almost like what Biden did too, his vice president. And maybe there's going to be a line of that that's happening with now uh Kamala is going to do that too. Who knows? Who knows? Um but yeah, it will get worse. Rent will keep raising, prices will keep being gouged, minimum wage will keep being raised, but without anything properly serving as a safety net to allow for people to actually be able to live on minimum wage and prevent corporations from gouging prices to get more money out of you from those minimum wages, not much is going to be done, right? I'm super happy that under the Kamala we'll have trans rights and gay rights and all sorts of other things being like really, really hammered home, right? But guess what? We're just going to die another way because with that, oh, abortion will be a thing. Awesome, genuinely amazing. But guess what? What about the people that do end up having children, right? No paid leave, or not having it be at a good time or at a reasonable rate, right? Affordable health care or universal health care, proper disability for people that can't work. Oh, I don't know, the crumbling job market right now that requires people to work multiple jobs. Is that going to be solved under Harris? It's not going to be solved under Trump. We know that for fuck sure. So, what's the point? If we're going to die, if we're still going to suffer, and it's just all about lesser two evil, then what's the point of voting, right? Because it's going to come down to we're going to have to do stuff. Us, the people, us, the workers, us, the people that are being used by those above us, the average everyday people. It is going to come down to us to help one another. It is going to come down to us making a difference in our communities and actually helping one another and fighting for one another, fighting for what we believe in, right? Not just for politics or anything like that, but because of where we live, because of we love the place that we come from, or so on and so forth. Not just a country, but a community, right? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're American or so on and so forth. This is a people struggle all over the world about what's going on, this atrocity that continues to happen, right? This is the biggest show every 4 years. It happens, right? The American election. Everyone around the world has their eyes on us because guess what? We're the lol cow. We are the world's laughing stock, right? We can have the biggest navy. We can have the most military industrial complex fueled thing ever, right? But that doesn't matter because to everyone else, we are being laughed at because of our political system, right? We are supposedly the strongest military on earth, but we have the biggest wage gap, financial and monetary gap ever, right? We haven't seen this kind of gap between the poor and the rich since fucking feudal times, right? Literal kings and castles is the last time that we saw this kind of inequality when it comes to wealth. Just because we have computers, just because we have iPhones, just because we have all this other stuff, things that we are basically forced to acquire under the system that we are currently under, suddenly, that doesn't matter. Suddenly, it doesn't matter the wealth inequality. Suddenly, because we can now get jobs at a 7-Eleven and be worked to the bone, suddenly it's fine. Despite the fact that you can't make a living off of 7-Eleven. You can't do that. You have to get another job. You have to work to the bone just to survive, right? Unless you die. Despite the fact that the whole point of a job is to support the economy. It is to support yourself and to then buy what you want. But guess what? You're not buying the things you want anymore because of this economy. You are just getting by. It is the late game, but you weren't able to succeed in the early game, and everyone else is scrambling to the finish line with barely a bottle of water in hand and crawling to the finish line, right? That is what we're at right now. That's where we are. And I'm not trying to fearmonger or anything like that. But that is the current state of everything that is going on. You can go and vote. You can go and not vote. But when it comes down to the shit that matters of people living and people being treated fairly, that will come down to voting locally, right? That's where it matters. And it will also come down to helping your neighbor, being a part of a community. Or hell, it doesn't even matter if it's your community, it's helping people online, right? It is being there for people, speaking out, protesting, all sorts of other stuff, even if you're not there in person, because currently the way that everything is with like infrastructure and, you know, car-centric society and everything like that, you might not be able to get to places to protest in person, but you sure as hell can raise a stink online, right? You can boycott, you can do all sorts of other stuff, and it works, right? It will work, and it has worked. You can see that. You can literally see the fruits of those labors happening right now. So yeah, that's what matters. Help each other. Be kind to each other. Be beautiful to each other. All right? Because no matter who wins the election, it is going to get harder for all of us, right? Support one another. Support your friends online. Support your friends in person. Support your community. Support the communities online. Support the people that are around you, even if they are 1,000 miles away. Reach a helping hand out to help them, because we are all in this fight together, and we will all have to fight for something that we care about. Okay? All right. Be kind. Love each other. Trans rights, human rights, gay rights, free Palestine, Black Lives Matter. I'm saying all this shit so that you know that that's what's important. We need to be able to help one another. I'll talk to you guys in the next video, which hopefully won't be as serious. Bye-bye. click.